You've probably seen the headlines, right? Quit your 9 to 5, buy a laundromat and make 6 figures in your sleep. Or maybe it was a car wash or a little local coffee shop. The idea of buying an existing small business is super appealing. It feels like a shortcut, right? Skip the brutal startup phase and jump straight to being the boss, collecting the profits. And for some people, it is an incredible, life-changing move. But for many others, it can turn into an absolute nightmare. I've seen it happen. People sink their life savings, their retirement funds, into a business that looks perfect on paper, only to find themselves working 80 hours a week, more stressed than they ever were in their corporate job, and barely breaking even. So, before you even think about browsing BizBuySell, I want to talk about the characteristics you absolutely must have to make this work. This isn't about having an MBA or a huge bank account. This is about your core DNA as a person. First, and this is the big one, you have to be a relentless problem solver. So, when you buy a small business, you are not buying a finished product. You are buying a living, breathing, and often screaming organism with a history. You're inheriting all of its problems. The star employee who's secretly been planning to leave for 6 months? That's your problem now. The freezer that's been on the fritz and the previous owner just jiggled the handle to fix? Your problem. The disgruntled customer who had a bad experience 3 years ago and still tells everyone in town how terrible the place is? Yep, your problem. A successful owner doesn't see these as setbacks. They see them as puzzles. They get a weird satisfaction from figuring out why the plumbing is making that gurgling noise, or how to retrain a team that's been doing things the wrong way for a decade. If your first instinct when something breaks is to get frustrated and wish someone else would handle it, owning a business will eat you alive. You have to be the person who rolls up their sleeves, grabs the metaphorical or literal duct tape, and dives in. Second characteristic, you need an almost obsessive level of curiosity. So, the previous owner is going to hand you a set of keys and a binder of documents. They'll tell you, this is how we've always done it. The average person will say, okay, great, and just continue the same process. But the person who succeeds will ask, but why have you always done it this way? They'll dig into the numbers. Why do our sales dip every Tuesday in the 3rd week of the month? They'll watch the customers. Why do people pick up this product, look at the back, and then put it down? They'll question everything. Is our supplier giving us the best price? Is this marketing strategy actually working? Or is it just something we've been paying for out of habit? This isn't about disrespecting the previous owner. It's about understanding that no business is perfectly optimized. Your curiosity is the engine that will uncover hidden opportunities for growth and efficiency that the previous owner, who was likely burned out, completely missed. Third, and this one is subtle but crucial, you must have a high tolerance for delayed gratification. Buying a business is not like buying a stock where you see the value go up the next day. The first 6 months, maybe even the first year or two, will likely be a grind. You're going to be investing a ton of your time, energy, and money. You'll be paying off the business loan. You'll be fixing the broken things. You'll be re-earning the trust of the staff and customers. There will be days you look at your bank account and think, I was making more money and had way less stress at my old desk job. And you might be right in the short term. The people who make it are the ones who can power through that phase. They have a vision for what the business could be in 3, 5, or 10 years. They're willing to sacrifice today's comfort for tomorrow's freedom. They don't need the instant validation of a paycheck. They're playing the long game. So forget the fantasy of buying a business and immediately heading to the beach. The reality is you're buying a full-time high-stakes project. But if you're a relentless problem solver, if you're obsessively curious, and if you can delay gratification and keep your eyes on the long-term prize, then you might just have what it takes.